It will be a battle of off-road attrition. Hello everybody, I'm Jack Rapello. Welcome to Laughlin, Nevada as we get set to conclude what has been a thrilling season of Best in the Desert racing, a series primarily known for marathon races out in the desert. Well, here in Laughlin, it's all about a merciless, short, 4-lap sprint to the finish. Point battles are incredibly tight. This course is incredibly challenging. Go as fast as you can, but make sure you make that vehicle last. We've got a great show for you. Hold on tight. The season finale of Best in the Desert starts now. We are set for a thrilling and exciting Best in the Desert season finale. Hello everybody, welcome to Laughlin, Nevada. As you take a look at the beautiful Colorado River, we are set for the General Tire Laughlin Desert Classic presented by Lucas Oil Products. Champions will be crowned. Speaking of champions, pleased to be joined with a Supercross and Motocross champion, Mr. Jeff Hemming.
Oh, it's awesome to be back again for this finale. This is where the champions are crowned. Here we are in Laughlin, Nevada. Interesting race. There was a side-by-side start, so we see two vehicles together. This is a two-day format, 4 laps of racing each day. You can see it's 163 miles combined. The fastest time over 2 days become your winner. And Jack, you had the opportunity to have a unique perspective of this race course.
I sure did. I was able to go up in the helicopter earlier today and just see how vicious this course really is. We're told that this racetrack will change every single lap, especially when you get the high horsepower trucks out there. A lot of rough, sharp edges on the whoops, and the holes are incredibly deep. We're talking about 4 and 5 feet. These berms are huge. They will swallow you up if you get too far off your line. Let's give you some more information on the Fox Proving Grounds. As soon as you see those Fox flags, you know that you are at the most challenging, most treacherous part of this course. Take a look. There are elevation changes everywhere, holes, deep ruts, loose area, everything to keep a driver on his or her toes. You also drop down into a quarry. It's very, very challenging. And remember, so many drivers told us that the key is making your vehicle last, not entering any of these tight turns too quickly, or you could find yourself done for the day. There's a couple different jumps out here where you will get some air. It's key that you have your suspension set up just right, because the proving grounds will get tougher as the day goes on. I want to thank the Lucas Oil helicopter team for that unique experience. Man, this course is wild. Well, speaking of wild courses, let's take you back to Vegas to Reno, the marathon race that set the stage for our championship battles back in August. Bryce Menzies qualified #1. He battled fan issues. We saw this course take out a lot of trucks.
Yeah, just the durability of the vehicle and keeping it moving forward was the key, but the racing was insane as we came to the finish.
Jason Voss really used a lot of perseverance to move up through the field, but at the end of the day, nobody had anything for Bryce Menzies. He was able to take the commanding win and overcome his mechanical problems. CJ Hutchins was the big winner in the 1500 buggy category and has put himself in a golden position to win a first ever Best in the Desert championship. Kyle Jurgensen was the man to beat in the 6100 category. Let's give you a look at the official Vegas to Reno results. Bryce Menzies, CJ Hutchins, and Kyle Jurgensen all coming out victorious, and that has set up what will be an exciting and rousing finish to the season in a race that is a huge departure from the norm. Remember, Vegas to Reno was a marathon. This race is more of a sprint. It's a 2-day event, 4 laps. We start with this action here on Saturday. James Dean was top qualifier looking for redemption after Vegas to Reno. Unfortunately, it would not be. Frustration, that opened the door for Ray Griffith.
Sure enough, he had an issue, and we got right around him right when he was getting out. It was good, and then we just we kind of stuck with our plan. We ran hard, and even when we got by him, we still kept running hard just so we could make enough time just to make sure nothing happens tomorrow, you know.
Tight competition as well in the 6100 spec category as Brock Hager tries to win a championship.
Well, and historically here at Laughlin, the leader on day one ends up becoming the winner on day two. So everyone is going full on here to start Saturday morning.
And on day one, it was Kyle Jurgensen who took the win.
We never missed a beat, never missed a corner. Ready for day two. It feels good. Truck feels solid. It's going to be, I don't know what's going to happen again. You know, I got him by like 20 seconds. So if he beats me off the start tomorrow, I can't let him put 20 seconds on me. That's the game plan.
Let's take you back to day number one in the trick truck category where four-time champion Jason Voss was dominant. We saw some great door-to-door racing. We also saw the Desert claim some trucks.
And look at the terrain that Voss is going over here. The Desert wins this battle again for a couple of trucks. Has to be so physical for the drivers also on a course like this where mentioned the ruts, the holes, there's a lot of sharp edges here, a little bit harder soil, a little bit more gravelly as you see Voss just bomb through there.
Taking off from the start, we were able to put some time on the guys pretty quick. Going on the last lap, I think we had like a 3.5 minute lead is what our team told us on corrected time. And you know, I don't know where it came from, but heading for the road crossing at like 110, we had a left rear tire go out. I probably got a rock a little bit before it. So, you know, Donnie had to get out and change a good quick tire. And, you know, from there we just kind of charged back up into some lap traffic and hope we put enough time on them.
Let's get you right to race day. It is Championship Sunday here in the 1500 category. Ray Griffith gets to start first because of his win on Saturday, but keep an eye on CJ Hutchins. Starting from the number 3 spot, he's had a dominant year. All he has to do is finish, and he will win a championship title. But as we have seen time and time again, sometimes just finishing can be tougher than it sounds. Ray Griffith, first off the line, looking for another win here today.
The battle for the clean track and clean air. This left side has been favorable. We see the right side make a little mistake there, but now the driver behind is just taking roost. It's like being shot with a shotgun when you're behind.
Here comes our championship contender out of Team General Tire, CJ Hutchins. He has won 2 championships in other organizations, has never got it done in Best in the Desert. He is hoping today is his day. He said he's going to run a good, clean, safe, and conservative race. He needs only to finish.
Well, he gets the start there, so clear track. His destiny is in his own hands. If the vehicle can stay together and he can keep it on 4 wheels, as they say, he could be your champion here in a bit.
And Jeff, what's that pressure like? I mean, you would think, knowing that he only has to finish, the pressure would be off, but he knows that this unforgiving desert with rocks and 4-foot holes can knock anybody out of the race at any given point.
Yeah, as we're taking a look at Wheeler Morgan, he's on that right side, which has just not been good off of the start here, but yeah, just the pressure. Your preparation makes the big difference, and if your preparation is there, then that pressure is a little less, right? You're a little nervous. Anything can happen in the Best in the Desert racing, as we've seen all year long. So with CJ, he's just going to try to have a nice, clean race.
See if he can get it done. Sam Barry and Ladd Gilbert. Sam Barry, one of the few drivers who chooses to do this all alone. No co-driver. He is a one-man operation.
This one's pretty close. But that driver's left side still coming out on top, getting that clean track.
And you gotta love this Laughlin course. It is such a departure from the typical Best in the Desert marathon race. The Folks family told me this is all about giving back to the spectators. It's really hard to follow some of the point A to point B races as a spectator. At this particular event, for $5, that's what it costs you to park. You can bring your lawn chairs up on the hill, your barbecue grill, and enjoy racing all day long.
Well, and you get to see the start, you get to see the finish. There's this short course style section where you get to see a lot of racing in one area, plus this massive jump that you're going to see later on.
Third generation racer James Dean looking for redemption after not being able to finish yesterday. We caught up with Ray Griffith and talked about all the changes, the positive changes he's been able to make to his vehicle.
Oh yeah, over the last year we've changed steering components, rebuilt suspension, put bigger King shocks on it. We built a big Redline Performance engine. So I definitely think we have the car to go out there and push tomorrow and put some pressure on them.
It worked for him in day one, and remember, the way we crown the winner is combined time from day one to day two. You need to perform on both days.
Now you see we're out of that prepared, watered, short course style track that we started with out into your traditional desert racing scenario where the dust from the cars in front of you is going to play a part. It is extremely hot today, and it has been extremely windy most of the weekend, dying down a little bit now.
And the wind actually helps these drivers. It helps clear the dust out. It is so tough to make it through this course unscathed. So many drivers have talked about the Fox Proving Grounds and the 4-foot holes out there. They said, look, you either got to keep it pinned or back way off. There is no in between.
Yeah, Jack, it's like skimming a set of whoops in a supercross. You have to stay right on top, and to do that you have to take a lot of risk. You have to stay on the throttle and just skim across the top of these holes. Where you get in trouble is when you drop down in the bottom.
Battle's heating up. The Desert Classic will continue.
The General Tire Best in the Desert Series is brought to you by General Tire. Anywhere is possible. Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. And by Lucas Oil, made in America, sold to the world.
The General Tire Laughlin Desert Classic, presented by Lucas Oil Products, continues. Action heating up in this unlimited open wheel 1500 buggy category. We've got a new leader. It is Adam Householder. The reason for that is this rough, punishing, and unforgiving course is taking some of these competitors out for the day.
Well, and remember, these 1500 buggies, they have close to 900 horsepower. They can run as fast as 135 miles an hour, and they need that full 20 to 22 inches of suspension to get through this race course.
As we're on lap 3 here, let's take you back to lap 2 and show you some of the issues some of these racers have experienced. As we said, this can be an absolute vehicle killer out here. This was earlier today. James Dean, after a tough performance on day 1, no redemption would be found. A failure once again knocks this talented 23-year-old out of competition. That's got to be frustrating.
Well, and what these drivers and the vehicles are facing are like engine failures, power steering failures, problems with the cooling system, and of course, you've seen the terrain. The suspension and tires go through the most demand and abuse of anything out there.
And how about Sam Barry there with no co-driver? He's got to fix that all by himself. The most shocking development was our leader and winner from day 1, Ray Griffith, the young man out of Downey, California, was stuck with a mechanical, unable to continue.
The body language there, just seeing his weekend unravel.
And for CJ Hutchins, the championship hopeful, all is going according to plan. Remember, CJ only needs to finish. The perennial powerhouse has been close to a championship in the Best in the Desert Series before, but has never been able to close the deal. Could this finally be the year for CJ? Earlier, we were able to talk to him about his championship strategy. There's a big reward at the end of the year if you perform consistently all season long. That's been the case for you, CJ Hutchins. 2 straight wins. You come into this race. If you finish, you win the championship. How much confidence does that give you?
Yeah, it's great. We've had a great season. We've had this General Tire car out front all season long. Unfortunately, Parker didn't quite go that way, but we've won the last 2 races in a row, so we're here and ready to fight and try to wrap this championship up.
We've heard how rough and brutal it is out there. How much are you going to rely on your General Tires to get you through this thing?
Oh yeah, this is notoriously kind of gets soft and sandy out there, and these General Tire X3s are just unbelievable in that sand. The traction we get with these tires is awesome, so I'm pretty excited to see how we do pulling up these long sand washes on some of these other guys.
With such a lead, are you going to be conservative out there, or are you going for the overall?
No, I definitely have to be careful. We really just need to finish to get the championship. We've had podium positions for the Best in the Desert Championship for several years, and we have yet to wrap it up. So we're really hoping to clinch this thing.
Jeff, I think CJ's displaying a lot of poise and experience there. Everybody wants to go out and win the final race. He is telling us, look, the championship is more important. I need to be careful.
Yeah, you could tell right there. He's like, we've had podiums, but that's not good enough. The amount of work that these race teams and drivers and everyone all of the supporting crew put into it. It's all about winning that title at the end of the championship.
And with these rocks and ruts out there, if you overdrive, if you push the limits, you could be stuck in many best in the desert scenarios. If you get a flat tire, if you have a problem, you can fix it and get back on course. The fact that this is such a short sprint, typically one problem and you are done.
Yeah, and we see Scott Rasmussen coming through this Fox Proving Ground. I mean, just take a look at that. The vehicle stays flat. The tires and the suspension are all over the place. I mean, the technology that are in these buggies and trucks is really amazing.
This event is nearly a week-long festival. There are dozens of categories out here competing, so every single lap that course gets more and more chewed up, more and more rutted, the holes get deeper. It is so incredibly tough to navigate.
Yeah, and Wheeler Morgan, I talked earlier about how physical it is for the driver. It is, I mean, you're having to hold on the steering wheel. I mean, you think if you're the average person, you watch, oh, okay, well, they're driving a car. No, this ain't like driving your normal car down a normal street. I mean, this wears you out.
Well said. This course is exhausting. And here's a look at some of the other categories competing. Every single lap these vehicles go around, this course will change and it will get rougher and more brutal.
Taking a look at Ladd Gilbert, he's the 6th vehicle on track. Notice a little bit of water on the course. That's because he's lining up that road jump, launching, and they water a little bit afterwards. That's for safety to keep the dust down.
That's the Needles Highway Crossing. It has become such a spectator attraction here. Best in the Desert is talking about maybe setting up a set of grandstands there next year because people just love watching that, especially when we get into the unlimited category. You will see them fly big time.
Another man-made obstacle there. Peter Haja, 7th on the track, launching it, taking a little bit conservative. Now the buggies, they're going to check up a little bit, but when we get to the trick trucks, they are wide open. They are not letting off.
And the funny story about that road crossing is it was never really intended to be a jump. It just got so chewed up. It's not like they go out and put a lip on it, but racers are able to get air. They're gaining confidence. They're hitting it quicker and quicker every single year and flying further than ever.
Here we go, side-by-side racing here at Best in the Desert.
We're just getting started. We'll continue with the Laughlin Desert Classic when we return. Welcome back to the Laughlin Desert Classic, the buggy class racing to a finish. Jack Rapella and Jeff Emick here with you, and 34-year-old second-generation racer Adam Householder is charging hard towards the finish line. Yes, Adam will be the first vehicle across the line. Now let's check in with our championship contender. Remember, CJ Hutchins needs only to finish to win his very first Best in the Desert Championship. CJ headed for the finish line. He got it. Checkers. What an impressive performance for CJ.
Finally, CJ gets the monkey off his back. Congratulations to him and the team.
Whew, what a long year. These are not easy races to finish, let alone win. You know, we won a couple races this year, finished on the podium a couple times, so we just had a great year, and that's really what it takes to win the points here at Best in the Desert. You got to be consistent. You got to finish races. I just got to thank all of our sponsors: General Tire, Jmar, All Seasons Marine, Jake's Fab Works, Sunoco, EBCO, 212, everybody that helps us out with this car, and Rigid Industries. I thank my navigator, Drew. He rode with me every single race, all year, every mile. This guy's been awesome all year.
Plus champions, baby!
And, I gotta thank my girlfriend Journey for coming to all the races and always supporting us. I gotta thank my dad for funding this whole team, and great job, all my pit guys all year. It's such a team effort to make this happen, and we just couldn't be happier.
Big win for Team General Tire. Let's check in now with James Dean, trying to regain his footing after a crash in Vegas Torino. No, James Dean going over again. This one a big one. The good news is he is moving around in there. We'll check in with him in a moment. My goodness, it has been a bad luck year for James Dean. Going on board now with Connor McMullen in the 1,000 category. Connor has had a great day. Connor poised to be the first 1,000 class vehicle across the line. Let's check back in with James Dean. Oh, James is out of the car. Thank goodness. It's been a tough season. Adam Householder standing by.
You know what? It's a rough day. As long as you have a good day one finish and you can start up front, it's not bad. Ray Griffith beat me off the line, which made it really tough with how dusty it is, and we just tried to stay close. He had some issues. He was off to the side. Once we got ahead of him, we just kind of ran a pace to make it to the finish line and get the win for the weekend.
A stellar Bafo performance by Adam Householder and a hard-earned victory. Wheeler Morgan also on the pace. He will be the second 1,000 class vehicle to the line. Let's go down and talk to our winner in the 1,000 category.
Ended up first place in Class 10 and winning the championship. All weekend long, we've had a flawless race. The car has been amazing. Best in the Desert with their track and everything like that. You know, I love coming to Laughlin. Even the season with, Best in the Desert has been, the past 2 years have been amazing. The top front running guy, everybody up top 5. And so, we're all fast guys, and, it's always a constant battle every single race down to the bare minimum. And it's absolutely amazing. And this Class 1000 is by far one of the best classes out there right now.
What a day of racing it was. Adam Householder and Connor, your two winners, but CJ Hutchins wins the championship. Jeff, what's it like? What is that day like when you finally win that title?
Oh, it's just the best feeling ever. You've got the whole entire crew behind you. They will be celebrating tonight, but I can tell you what champions do. Tomorrow morning, he's going to wake up and start thinking about how he can do it again.
Well said, my friend. Very astute. Such is the case for Connor McMullen. A valiant season for him. He is your champion in the 1,000 category, and it was a rousing year. Speaking of rousing, we're going to crown champions in Trick Truck and 6100 coming up.
The General Tire Best in the Desert Series is brought to you by General Tire. Anywhere is possible. Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source. And by K&N, superior airflow, superior performance.
It is time for the 6100 spec engine 37-inch tire category. There's Brock Hager looking to win his third Best in the Desert championship in as many seasons, but he will have to contend with the hottest driver on tour, Kyle Jurgensen. Let's hear from both of these fine competitors heading into this battle.
The bigger picture is the championship, but it'd be cool to come out of here with the win and the championship. So we're gonna get off on the start. If if we get the whole shot, we're just gonna run around out front, hopefully, and have no problems or nothing. But if I get beat out of here by the time we get down by the school, I'm probably gonna play it safe a little bit and fall back a little bit. And I say that now, but it's probably not gonna happen. But at least I said it.
Whoever wins the start here, if he wins the start, I doubt I can keep up with him with the dust and everything, and honestly, we're gonna have to settle for a second place unless he has a mechanical failure again. If we get the start here, I'm not gonna let him by. You can't. I'll do all I can to make sure. Then I got 50. Then he has to pass me and make 15 seconds on me, and that's a lot harder. He might make a mistake in the dust. He's got to play the game that he's going for a championship too. I don't know if he's gonna take that risk, but he's a wild guy, so he might.
A clash of the Titans. Jurgensen has been the hottest racer on tour, won Vegas to Reno, but Brock Hager is just unstoppable. We see him out there at the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Short Course Series where he's a dominant force, so you got to believe he's right at home here on this short track.
The driver's left-hand lane there has been the best so far, and it prevails once again.
Brock Hager just turned 20 years old. He's working on 10 championships before his 21st birthday altogether. Can you believe that? Big kudos to Kyle Jurgensen. He was able to get out in front of Brock, but would he be able to hold that lead? Ryan Hancock and Matt Laughlin also not too far behind.
Wow, and did you catch that, Jack, as the drivers come out of that right-hand lane, hitting that final berm? Some of them are going over, causing a lot of problem.
Track conditions changing. This is the spec category. 37-inch tires, a Crate LS3 motor. These things make about 425 horsepower. It truly would be a battle to the finish here on day number 2.
Massive amounts of roost coming off of the truck in front. They have clear vision right now, but look how close they are baying into the back of each other.
Yeah, you want to talk
One
about
another.
a little short course racing.
Whoa,
Brock
side
Hager.
by side. That's insane racing.
Wow.
I mean, this is over 100 miles an hour and then slowing back down. And those berms are 3 or 4 feet high. If you go over, you can roll so easy.
There's not a lot of places to pass on this course. Hager was able to find an opportunity. We got to give credit to Jurgensen for somehow withstanding that pressure and that heat. Ray Griffith also worked his way up with co-driver Justin Peck.
Inside line. Look at this. We've got 3 trucks. This is the battle for 6th. Pile up front.
Dust was becoming a serious issue. The track was getting more and more rutted up. Rocks were everywhere. Don't know how these competitors were able to withstand these punishing conditions. Travis Chase, our championship contender, he needed a strong finish, but unfortunately for him, he was not able to run up with Brock Hager.
Massive jumps right here. You see just how much the trucks move around. It's got to be a blast to be in that driver's seat. It looks like so much fun.
Challenging as well. The track very tricky and technical. Look at those ditches and washes, just getting more and more rutted out as we head into the Fox Proving Grounds.
Ryan Hancock, he'd finish up 3rd place on the day.
But did anyone have anything for Brock Hager? That was the big question. Or would this young man find his way to another championship?
Hager made his way past Jurgensen, but he needed a clear track and to gain more than 20 seconds to win the overall.
It's a 2-day race. Both days count. Remember, Brock Hager had transmission issues on day number 1. That left the door open for Kyle Jurgensen, who won the last 2 events on tour. Kyle would do it again. You got to wonder what would have happened if Kyle could have ran the whole season. But nonetheless, congratulations to our champ, Brock Hager.
You know, we had a fast truck yesterday and we had some mechanical issues that brought us home in 2nd, so we fixed that last night, and I was like, you know what, I'm ready for what Sunday has to offer, and I wanted to close out this weekend with a win and the championship, but I think we got beat by a little bit for the overall for the day, which is a bummer. You know, we had a good run, keeping about 50 seconds to a minute on them all day, and I was going to kind of keep it there, just running super smooth and conservative, and then right there, that last lap, the last few miles, I got stuck behind a lapper, and I couldn't get up close to him or anything because it was so dusty. Ended up hitting one of those huge walls, and the right front's all jacked up. So we figured, let's just bring it home from there and you know, get this championship. Just gotta give it up to Best in the Desert for everything they do, and you know, all the guys. Thank them for you know, being here, all the pit stuff. I gotta thank Eric. He rode with me today, and you know, he drove with me a little bit here and there this year, and you know, Method Race Wheels. They do so much for us, and I'm excited to see what we got to offer next year.
We got the whole shot. We did have a little mishap on counting down at the beginning, but we actually went off the line and then backed up a little bit, ended up getting the whole shot. But Brock is an amazing driver, and that truck is very fast. He got me again at mile 4, and I had nothing for him. And we held on for dear life all day, and it came down to, we had about we were 50 seconds back from him. Hot lap traffic, and he couldn't get by him, and we were able to reel that gap in, and it was just perfect timing. I'm sure he's super pissed. It worked out in our favor. It was a good day. The truck was working great, but we'll take it. I mean, it's just racing, you know. The lap traffic is part of racing, and it worked out today in our favor.
Yesterday we started 8th, and we got up to 3rd, and then today we kind of just stayed in 3rd the whole race. We had some lap traffic to get around, but we got around them, and we just kept it together. Broke the steering coming into the infield, and so we had no power steering the last lap, and we just fought through it and got through it. So, good day.
Congratulations to all, especially Kyle Jurgensen, who gets it done again. Young Brock Hager did what he had to do. He finishes in 2nd. That's good enough to win a championship.
We heard Kyle Jurgensen talk about having 50 seconds to work with. In the end, he won this event by 8 seconds.
Yeah, and only 15 points separate Hager and Chase in the championship seasons. It was a competitive year. Well, speaking of serious competition, we've got the unlimited trick truck class coming up next. It's time for the big boys. Welcome back, everybody, to the General Tire Laughlin Desert Classic presented by Lucas Oil Products. Jack Rapella and Jeff Emig here with you as we get set for the season finale in the trick truck category. The question is, will Jeff Turzo be able to hold on to his points lead? Because he's got a quickly encroaching Jason Voss, who won here on day number 1. That's why Jason will start out in front.
Well, and let's remind you of what these trick trucks are all about. Upwards of 900 horsepower, speeds of 140 miles an hour, 32 inches of suspension. These are the big boys. $500,000 or more vehicles.
Most of them running 40-inch tires. As one gentleman put it to me, the only limitation is your wallet. Jason Voss off to another great start. Now, Jeff, we talked about how one problem will put you out here because it's such a short race. Jason Voss had a flat tire yesterday and still was able to win. That's how dominant he's been.
Well, and the crowds here in Laughlin were treated to this short course style section of the track to begin the side-by-side racing right off of the get-go.
Christian Serapis, the 23-year-old out of San Diego, alongside a man who hopes to win a championship here today, Jeff Turzo. Christian Serapis was able to win this event last year. He's hoping that he can do it once again for the man who was a college sprinter for the University of Oregon and USC. We caught up with him and said, Christian, what is the key to winning this thing?
Key to winning this race is just having a really smooth and consistent Saturday, hit all your marks, but still run really hard. You got to still put down a really good time, but you got to have a truck ready to go for Sunday. And a lot of people are going to drop out on Saturday, not even have a truck available to race on day 2. So that was the formula we ran with last race, and hopefully we're going to employ the same strategy to success again this year.
Christian not in the championship conversation, but has an opportunity to win and play spoiler like so many hope to today. Here comes Andrew Whitehead and Taylor Mills. If that truck sounds different, it's because it's a V10 Viper motor.
Well, the battle off the start has been won by the left side most of the time. Taylor Mills looks like he has the edge. They're going to come together. Crowd off to our right, and once again, driver's left gets that clean track.
Andrew Whitehead in the white U-Theory truck. It's been an exciting weekend for him. They had a baby reveal. Congratulations. But for the entire family, they have an opportunity to win a championship here this weekend. I asked the Turzo brothers and I asked Andrew Whitehead, will there be any team orders or strategy? They said absolutely not. We're racing.
Leader on the track, Jason Voss, having another good day. You see him really trying to get off to the side of the track there. And then look at this roof-high berms going through these turns. This track has been demolished over the last 5 days.
And I can't wait till we approach this Needles Highway jump as Anthony Turzo looks to keep pace. Yesterday, I talked to Jason Voss, his co-driver. He said he looked down. He said, we hit that jump at 122 miles per hour.
122, that's insane.
I couldn't imagine doing that as a driver or a co-driver. Jeff Turzo, for him, it's all about keep it together. Here's what I understand. If Turzo finishes on the podium, he will clinch a championship no matter what Voss does. But that's still got to be some incredible pressure with competitors like Serapis on your tail.
Well, it is, and you've worked all season long, dozens and dozens of people, hundreds of thousands of dollars spent, and knowing that you just have to get on the podium to win the title is a good feeling, but you have to make it to the finish. And we know in Best in the Desert, that's not always an easy thing to do.
One parts failure and your day is over. Jason Voss, now here we go! Look at that! That has to be some 250 feet. He flew on something that was never intended to be a jump. Wow.
And it lands, the truck lands so smooth. I mean, what a testament to the technology, suspension and chassis designs that are in these vehicles.
Can you see why Best in the Desert wants to put a set of grandstands out there next year if they can? Wow. We talked to Jeff on his plan for day number 2 and his plan to try to win this championship.
Tomorrow, just have a similar day like we did today. Just keep it together, no issues, and try to get a strong finish and see where we end up in that points battle.
Wide open through the desert. This has to be one of the easiest parts of the course, but look where Voss is at right now. One of the most technically rough sections. You have to be smart through here. Look at there's edges off to the right. If you go off the side of the course there, your day is done.
Looking to be another flawless day for Voss. Can he keep it up? We'll find out when we return.
The General Tire Best in the Desert Series is brought to you by General Tire. Anywhere is possible. Polaris Razor. Fuel your passion. And by Lucas Oil. Made in America, sold to the world.
The Laughlin Desert Classic rolls on. Jack Corpella and Jeff Emick here with you. These trick trucks putting on a show over the Needles Highway jump, gaining more confidence, flying further and further. Let's give you an update of where we're at. About a little over 4 miles into this course, things are certainly getting rough and chopped up.
Well, at mile marker 6, he's going to hit the Fox Proving Grounds, one of the most treacherous sections of this course.
Taylor Mills out of Houston, Texas, and that V10 Viper motor-powered machine getting some big air on the Needles Highway jump.
Landed a little bit on that left front tire, but the suspension just soaked it up beautifully.
On board now with Taylor Mills and that V10 machine. There's Andrew Whitehead, who is expecting, as we mentioned, the big gender reveal yesterday. Jeff, would it be blue or pink smoke?
On the podium, they had it all set up.
Oh, it's a baby boy. Danielle loves it. Congratulations to that couple. What a weekend for that family. Andrew Whitehead not driving with Danielle. Danielle's normally his co-driver. Not a good idea for somebody who's expecting and pregnant to be in the passenger seat. So she's wisely sitting this one out. Justin Matney now out of Bristol, Tennessee, the RPM truck getting some big air over the Needles Highway jump.
Notice there's quite a bit of dust out there right now. Parts of the course that were even groomed and watered earlier in the day are pretty dried out. Luckily, there was a little bit of wind.
Getting more and more demanding. Yeah, wind was starting to die down too. Whoa. Look at visibility really deteriorating. We will keep you abreast of our championship standings. Remember, Jeff Turzo badly needs to get on the podium because Jason Voss still way out in front.
Getting past a slower vehicle and then cutting back into his lane. Look at this. 3 trucks right there. This is what we're talking about when you have a clear track and clear visibility. Look at how much of an advantage that is.
Jeff, you know, as a former motocross racer, how do you continue to press on and go fast when you can't see?
It's all about risk and reward, and you have to be brave, and you have to stay in it, and you have to trust your instinct.
We do know speed and visibility go hand in hand. There's Steve Olagus. He's had a miserable weekend, came in with an opportunity to win a championship, got stuck in the desert yesterday. Kit Stokes living a dream. Finally got himself one of these unlimited trucks after years of dirt bike experience. Can you imagine how excited he is, Jeff?
Well, and they say with age comes a cage, and a fantastic truck to be in, and we wish him the best as he starts his new racing career on 4 wheels.
Kit actually met his wife at a Lucas Oil off-road racing event, and now both of them are so pumped up to be out there competing in this challenging category. There's a lot of veterans out there. There's also some young and hungry drivers entering their very first race. Kit Stokes, you are living a dream out here. You come from the motorcycle world, but you got 4 wheels now, and this truck's got a lot of history. Tell me about it.
Oh man, this truck's been around for probably about 15 years. We picked it up from Alan Pfluger. It's an old Porter truck built in 2004. It's got a few race wins under it. It's won the Baja 500 in the past. And I think it's still a good running machine. It sat pretty much from 2014 till now, about 5 years, just sitting in a shop. We got a hold of them and got it from a couple months ago. Did a fast prep on it, and we really got about 45 minutes in the thing, and we're gonna, get going on tomorrow's race and hopefully put a charge on.
To live this dream, to finally be able to do it. I know you've been out there on a motorcycle, but now to be able to do it in one of these trucks, what's that mean to you?
Oh man, it means a lot. It's actually a dream my father and I had about 23 years ago. He turned 41 where he was supposed to retire, and we were supposed to start racing trucks, make the transition back then, and unfortunately he died at that age, and I'm 41 now, and I want to live that dream we had.
Well, I'm sure your pops is smiling down, and he's going to be riding there with you. You dedicating this all to him?
Absolutely.
You got to love the emotional, touching tribute there. You know, we're only given so much time on this earth. You might as well take it for everything it's worth, right?
Yep, Kevin Thompson facing some troubles here. He's off the course, and his weekend is done.
We'll continue to monitor our championship watch. As we said, Jason Voss still continues his dominance out in front. Here's Anthony Turzo now second place on track. His brother needs to finish third or better. This is what we talked about. There certainly are no team orders out there. Anthony's not slowing down to let his brother around. In fact, trying to get around that lap traffic, the God is Awesome truck.
Got a little bit of body panels hanging off the back of that truck. And whoa, look at how massive those sand whoops are coming out of that turn. That is when the truck can break.
Voss pitching a perfect game. Can he keep it up? We'll find out. We're racing to a finish here at the Laughlin Desert Classic. The championship coming down to the wire. Jason Voss continues his dominant performance. The question is, can Jeff Turzo hang on to a podium to win himself a championship?
Here comes Voss. He really has had just a fantastic weekend crossing the finish line. Season's over. Got to be happy with that.
Impressive performance. Now here comes Anthony Turzo. We talked about how there were no team orders. Look at how hard he's going.
Hang on.
He could be competing with his brother.
He saves it. Unbelievable. That was a massive huckabuck, fishtail, whatever you want to call it. He's trying to keep this truck in second place and win this battle of sibling rivalry right now.
Yeah, sibling rivalry is right. Does that look like a man taking it easy so his brother can win a championship?
Definitely not.
What a competitive racing family between the two Turzo brothers and Andrew Whitehead. They are all firemen and they are all going hard here, making brother Jeff earn that championship. Anthony coming in. And Jeff holding down that third position. He did what he had to do. He knew he needed a podium to win the championship. Congratulations, your 2019 champion.
Jeff Turzo, 5 grueling races. He ends up winning the championship by a slim 9 points over Jason Voss.
A magnificent performance by the Fireman, the Youth Theory team, persevering through this rough and punishing course. Congratulations, Jeff Turzo. You are 2019 season champion.
Igor called a great game over there. We were just hitting every corner like we could. We knew today we had to just keep it together and hold our position. My brother was on the gas, so it was hard to catch him, but hopefully we finished within that 25-second period to beat him and maybe take second place. We put a ton of time and effort into this sport, so it's nice to finally have something to show for it, that's for sure. I'd just like to thank Youth Theory, my co-driver Igor, my wife, my son, the whole crew that comes out to support us, Tisco for putting together a great truck. The Dugan's racing engines ran great all weekend. The Fox shocks were dialed, tuned up by SDG, so we couldn't be happier. And I'd like to thank Best in the Desert for putting on such a great event.
Congratulations, Jeff Turzo, your champion. Certainly saw some great battles today. Here comes the Coors Light machine fighting hard towards a finish. This is Christian Serapis, the former standout college sprinter, sprinting to the finish line here in Laughlin. A great day for him, but nobody had a better day than Jason Voss.
Great day. We had a real good day here in Laughlin. I can't thank everyone who helps us on this team, not only our crew members, but Method Race Wheels is down here supporting Best in the Desert, putting on this race. BFG Tires, King Shocks, Howe Power Steering, everyone down the side of this truck. This is a new truck for us this year, so we've been working the bugs out of it, and to come out here, qualify first and sweep both days, flawless performance on the truck, so it was good. We're looking forward to next year.
As we're still trying to finish up the race, we have Jimmy Knuckles just starting lap 4. He was a lap driver. And of course, Tracy Graff having a decent day, coming by in 5th.
Let's go down and talk to second place, Anthony Turzo, who did not take it easy on his brother.
Well, we're coming around the infield, and I saw my brother coming the other way, so I knew I had to beat him by 36 seconds. So I punched it over the first jump, got sideways, punched over the second one, and then we almost went over, saved it, and then the third one, again, almost went over and got a flat tire, and I had to limp it in, and I think he got us because of that, so bummer. Of course, we want to go out and beat our teammates, but we are teammates, so we hope everyone does well. If he finished, I think, 3rd or better, he's got the championship, so that's pretty cool for him. So maybe my flat tire helped him out, so we'll see.
What an event it was as the sun sets on what was a beautiful weekend of racing in Laughlin, Nevada. Let's get you some final results here as we try to make sense of what was a pure melee. Jason Voss, the truck to beat. Jeff Turzo gets the championship. That's the big one.
Well, Jeff wins the title, and yes, that flat tire did help because he leapfrogs Anthony up into second place for the day by 9 seconds.
And we have so many storylines heading into next season. You got to wonder, with Jason Voss leaving the final race as the dominant truck, but just missing that title by 9 points, what's that Voss, Turzo, Whitehead, Olagus battle going to look like next season? I absolutely can't wait. We saw some unbelievable racing. If it looks like fun, it is. Come out and join us. BITD.com is your source for everything online. For Jeff Emming, I'm Jack Corbella. We'll see you next season.